পরেও অন্য
the country in association with international Israeli lobby, says Foreign Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmoud. Health Ministry takes action plan to prevent dengue. Organizations concerned, including city corporations, will work jointly to implement the plan. Russian President Vladimir Putin to pay a state visit to China tomorrow, marking 75 years of diplomatic relations between the two countries. And Bangladesh announces 15-man squad for ICC T20 World Cup, naming Najmul Hassan as captain and Taskin Ahmed as vice-captain. Assalamu alaikum viewers, this is News at 10 on BTV and BTV World. I'm Imtiaz Ahmed Siddiqui. You just heard the headlines. Let's move on to the details of those and other stories.
আমরা সকলের সহানুভূতি ভালোবাসা চাই, কারো বিরুদ্ধে আমাদের হিংসা নাই। কেউ যদি অন্যায় করে আমাদের উপর শক্তি ব্যবহার করতে চায়, নিশ্চয়ই এদেশের মানুষ আর সহ্য করবে না।
U.S. Assistant Secretary of State Donald Liu came to Bangladesh to discuss his country's agenda, said Awami League General Secretary and Road Transport and Bridges Minister Obaidul Qadir. Obaidul Qadir questioned the razzle-dazzle over Liu. Bangladesh does not bother about any visa policy and sanctions, he added. The Road Transport and Bridges Minister was speaking at a view exchange meeting with journalists at the Secretariat today.
পররাষ্ট্রমন্ত্রীও একজন সহকারী পররাষ্ট্রমন্ত্রী, তাকে নিয়ে বাংলাদেশে তো মাতামাতি করবে, তার প্রয়োজনে সে আসছে, তাদের এজেন্ডা আছে, সম্পর্ক যখন তাকে সম্পর্কের বিভিন্ন বিষয় নিয়ে আলাপ আলোচনা থাকে, তো সেটা তারা করতে আসছে। আমরা দাওয়াত করে কাউকে আনছি, আমরা কোনো প্রকার স্যাংশন ভিসা নীতি এগুলো আমরা কেয়ার করি।
Regarding BNP's call to boycott Indian products, Obaidul Qadir said it is a strange and failed effort of that party.
বর্জন করবেন। কিছুদিন আগে একটা টেস্ট কেস আমরা তো দেখলাম, তো এটা কি সম্ভব? এই যে ভারতীয় মশলা ছাড়া কি আমাদের দেশে চলে? এটা একটা উদ্ভট চিন্তা এবং এটা একটা ব্যর্থ চেষ্টা। বিএনপি এখন আসলে সব হারিয়ে খড়কুটো ধরে বাঁচতে চায়, তাদের আসলে কোনো ইস্যু নেই। ভারতীয় পণ্যকে ইস্যু হিসেবে বেছে নিয়েছে, এটা নন ইস্যু আমাদের দেশের বাস্তবতা।
Foreign Minister and Awami League Joint General Secretary Dr. Hassan Mahmoud said BNP is hatching conspiracies against the country in association with the international Israeli lobby. He said BNP Jamaat held meetings to execute Israeli agenda. They have turned into accomplices of Netanyahu. Dr. Hassan Mahmoud was speaking at a gathering at the Jatiyo Press Club today, demanding an end to genocide in Palestine and BNP's anti-state conspiracies. Bangladesh Shadhinata Porishad organized it. He said BNP Jamaat that are trying to utilize religious sentiments of Muslims as political tools are yet to utter a word against the brutalities of Israeli forces in Palestine.
আমাদের নীতি হচ্ছে ফিলিস্তিনের মুক্তিকামী মানুষের পক্ষে। আজকে সমগ্র পৃথিবী ফিলিস্তিনে গণহত্যার প্রতিবাদে সোচ্চার হয়েছে, কিন্তু আমরা দেখতে পাচ্ছি বাংলাদেশে বিএনপি এবং জামাত যারা মুসলমানদের ধর্মীয় সেন্টিমেন্ট নিয়ে রাজনীতি করার অপচেষ্টা চালায়, তারা আজ পর্যন্ত এই ফিলিস্তিনে ইসরায়েলি বাহিনীর বর্বরতার বিরুদ্ধে, গণহত্যার বিরুদ্ধে, মানবতার বিরুদ্ধে অপরাধ সংগঠিত হওয়ার বিরুদ্ধে একটি শব্দ উচ্চারণ করে নাই। বিএনপির যুগ্ম সাধারণ সম্পাদক, চট্টগ্রামের নেতা, তার সাথে ইসরায়েলি এজেন্টের সাথে মিটিং হয়েছে। তাদের অন্যান্য নেতৃবৃন্দের সাথেও অনেক আগেই ইসরায়েলি এজেন্টরা মিটিং করেছে। নির্বাচন ভণ্ডুল করার তাদের পরিকল্পনা ভেস্তে যাওয়ার পর তারা এখন আন্তর্জাতিক ইসরায়েলি ইহুদি লবির সাথে যুক্ত হয়ে দেশের বিরুদ্ধে ষড়যন্ত্রে লিপ্ত হয়েছে। সুতরাং এদেরকে চিরে রাখতে হবে। এদের মুখোশ আজকে উন্মোচিত হয়েছে। আর কিছু লেবাসদারি ইসলামী দল যারা সরকারের বিরুদ্ধার করে, কথায় কথায় সমাবেশ করে, আমেরিকায় বড় মিছিল হয়, ইংল্যান্ডে বড় মিছিল হয়, আমাদের যুব মহিলা লীগ মিছিল করে, আর তোমরা ইসলামী দল বলে পরিচয় দাও, একটি বড় মিছিল সমাবেশ করো নাই। তোমরা আসলে ধর্ম ব্যবসায়ী। এদেরও চিনে রাখতে হবে। আর আমাদের দেশে কয়েকটা রাজনীতিবিদ আছে, কোন দল নাই, দলের চেয়ে ব্যক্তি বড়, শরীরের চেয়ে গাল বড়। এই সমস্ত রাজনীতিবিদ, এদেরও কারো কারোর সাথে এই ইসরায়েলি এজেন্টদের বৈঠক হয়েছে।
Presided over by Bangladesh Shadinata Porishad General Secretary Shahadat Hussain Toil, the function was also addressed by former General Secretary of Dhaka Metropolitan South Awami League, Shahe Alam Murad, Awami League Jatiyo Committee member Advocate Boloram Poddar, and Awami League leader M.A. Karim. The Ministry of Health has taken action plan to prevent dengue and dengue death toll in the country. Dhaka North City Corporation, Dhaka South City Corporation, local government division and concerned organizations jointly started the action to implement the government plan alongside raising awareness. A total of 321,000 people were infected with dengue last year. Of them, 1,700 people died of dengue. This year, more than 2,400 people were infected with dengue. According to the Directorate General of Health Services, 1,740 dengue patients were hospitalized across the country till the 4th of April. Experts suggested a clean Dhaka to prevent the dengue menace in the capital. Law, Justice and Parliamentary Affairs Minister Anisul Haq has said some decisions on amending labour laws will be taken at the policy-making level as per the recommendations of the ILO. The minister said this after a meeting with a delegation of International Labour Organization ILO at his Secretariat office today. State Minister for Labour and Employment Mohammad Nazrul Islam Chaudhry was present on the occasion. The Law Minister said he had a fruitful discussion with the ILO over all issues for 3 days. He said the ILO Committee of Experts saw labour law, read it, gave some recommendations on international standards. Textiles and Jute Minister Jahangir Kobir Nanok has urged India to withdraw anti-dumping duty on jute goods. The minister made the request when Indian High Commissioner to Bangladesh, Pranay Verma, paid a courtesy call on him at his Secretariat office today. Textiles and Jute Secretary Mohammad Abdur Rauf was present on the occasion. During the meeting, the Textiles and Jute Minister urged India for increasing mutual cooperation in the silk industry. The Textiles and Jute Minister said India is already interested to invest in 3 jute mills. Replying to a question from reporters after the meeting, Jahangir Kobir Nanok said that discussions were held with the High Commissioner to ease the visa process of India. Referring to the discussion on visa on arrival, the Textiles and Jute Minister said that more discussions will be held on this issue after the elections of India. Biman Bangladesh Airlines has started direct Hajj flights from Chattogram. Biman's Boeing 717 carrying 398 pilgrims departed from Shah Amanat International Airport for Medina at 4 a.m. today. Chattogram City Mayor Rizal Karim Chaudhry inaugurated the maiden Hajj flight. This year, 22 direct flights will be operated from Chattogram to Jeddah and Medina, Saudi Arabia, for the transportation of pilgrims. Of them, 20 flights will go directly to Jeddah and 2 flights to go to Medina. The crew of MV Abdullah returned to Chattogram Port Jetty a month after it was freed from Somali pirates. The sailors arrived at the port's new mooring terminal at 4 p.m. today. They came by lighter ship MV Jahan Moni 3. Earlier, they boarded the MV Jahan Moni 3 after getting off the MV Abdullah ship at Kutubdia in the Bay of Bengal. Port Chairman Rear Admiral Mohammad Suhail and officials of KSRM Group, the owner of the ship, were present at the port jetty to receive the sailors. Besides, relatives also crowded the port jetty to receive the sailors. On March 12, Somali pirates hijacked KSRM Group's MV Abdullah from the Indian Ocean. The ship was released on the night of April 13 after 33 days, and that too paying ransom.
ধূমপানের ধোঁয়াও আপনার ফুসফুস ক্যান্সারের কারণ হতে পারে। কয়েক মিনিটের মধ্যে
প্রতি বছর বাংলাদেশে প্রায় 25,000 মানুষ পরোক্ষ ধূমপানের শিকার হয়ে মারা যায়। অন্যের ধূমপানের ধোঁয়া থেকেও হার্ট অ্যাটাক, ব্রেন স্ট্রোক ও ফুসফুস ক্যান্সার হতে পারে। শিশু ও গর্ভের সন্তানেরও ক্ষতি হতে পারে। ধূমপানের সময় তো বটেই, ধোঁয়া দীর্ঘস্থায়ী হয় বলে ধূমপানের পরেও অন্যদের ক্ষতি হতে পারে। ধূমপান ছাড়ুন, নিজেকে ও আপনজনকে নিরাপদ রাখুন।
অন্যের ধূমপানের ধোঁয়াও আপনার ফুসফুস ক্যান্সারের কারণ হতে পারে। কয়েক মিনিটের মধ্যে
প্রতি বছর বাংলাদেশে প্রায় 25,000 মানুষ পরোক্ষ ধূমপানের শিকার হয়ে মারা যায়। অন্যের ধূমপানের ধোঁয়া থেকেও হার্ট অ্যাটাক, ব্রেন স্ট্রোক ও ফুসফুস ক্যান্সার হতে পারে। শিশু ও গর্ভের সন্তানেরও ক্ষতি হতে পারে। ধূমপানের সময় তো বটেই, ধোঁয়া দীর্ঘস্থায়ী হয় বলে ধূমপানের পরেও অন্যদের ক্ষতি হতে পারে। ধূমপান ছাড়ুন, নিজেকে ও আপনজনকে নিরাপদ রাখুন।
Now, international news. Israeli jets bomb houses in Nusayrat refugee camp in central Gaza, killing 14 Palestinians, including children. Meanwhile, UN chief condemns killing of the first foreign staff member in Israel's war on Gaza after Israeli forces fired on a UN car in Rafah and has demanded a full investigation. Meanwhile, Bangladesh has condemned the recent attacks perpetrated by Israeli extremist settlers in Palestine on a Jordanian humanitarian convoy to Gaza via the Beit Hanun crossing meant for civilian aid in Gaza. At least 35,173 people killed and 79,061 wounded in Israeli attacks on Gaza since October 7, according to Hamas-run Health Ministry. Russian President Vladimir Putin will pay a state visit to China at the invitation of Chinese President Xi Jinping on May 16 to 17 as his first foreign trip after taking office. In a statement, spokesperson of China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs said that the two will discuss bilateral ties, cooperation in various fields, and international and regional issues of common interest. During the visit, the two leaders will also sign a joint declaration and join a ceremony to mark 75 years of diplomatic relations between the two countries. Later, Putin will meet Chinese Premier Li Qiang to discuss economic cooperation. It will be Putin's second visit in just over 6 months to China, an economic lifeline for Russia after Western nations imposed sanctions over its military offensive in Ukraine. China has rebuffed Western criticism of its ties with Russia, but their economic partnership and military cooperation have come under increasing scrutiny in the West. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken arrived in Kyiv via a sleeper train from Poland on a surprise trip, marking the first visit by a senior U.S. official since Congress passed a $61 billion aid package for Ukraine. In a meeting, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky thanked Blinken for the package and stressed it was crucial that Ukraine receives it quickly. Blinken assured Zelensky that military aid is now on its way. The top U.S. diplomat also told the Ukrainian president the weapons will make a real difference against the ongoing Russian aggression on the battlefield. The visit comes as Ukraine struggles to hold back a major Russian incursion near its second biggest city of Kharkiv. For the first time in 20 years, Singapore will inaugurate a new Prime Minister, Lawrence Wong, tomorrow. The 51-year-old will replace Lee Hsien Loong, the eldest son of the country's first Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew, who has been in the job since August 2004. The Minister for Finance and Deputy Prime Minister Wong, who is only the fourth leader in Singapore's 59 years history as an independent nation. Like his predecessors, he is a member of the People's Action Party, co-founded by the elder Lee and the only ruling party Singaporeans have ever known. At least 14 people have been killed and about 70 injured after a giant billboard collapsed during a sudden storm in the Indian city of Mumbai. The billboard, measuring 70 meter by 50 meter according to the police, fell onto houses and a petrol station in the city's financial district. About 20 to 30 people are still feared to be trapped with the rescue operation underway, emergency services said. The billboard fell after a rain and dust storm hit the city of Mumbai, ripping up trees and causing travel chaos and power outages. And now weather. Met Office in its weather forecast till 6 p.m. tomorrow said rain or thunder showers is likely to occur at one or two places over Rajshahi, Rangpur, Khulna, Dhaka, Mymensingh and Sylhet divisions. Besides, weather may remain mainly dry with temporary partly cloudy sky elsewhere over the country. Day and night temperature may rise slightly over the country, said the Met Office. And now sports news. Bangladesh Cricket Board (BCB) has announced a 15-member squad for the ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2024 to be held in the West Indies and the United States next month. Pacer Taskin Ahmed is the vice-captain of the team under the captaincy of Najmul Hussain Shanto. The other members of the team are Liton Kumar Das, Tanzid Hassan Tamim, Shommo Sarkar, Shakib Al Hassan, Tawheed Ridoy, Mahmudullah Riyad, Zakir Ali Anik, Tanveer Islam, Sheikh Mahdi Hassan, Rishad Hussain, Mustafizur Rahman, Shariful Islam and Tanzim Hassan Shakib. Afif Hussain and Hassan Mahmood are on the travelling reserve. Bangladesh will play against Sri Lanka, South Africa, Netherlands and Nepal in the D group in the upcoming World Cup. The red and green team will start their World Cup mission with the match against Sri Lanka. The match will be played on June 8 in Dallas, USA. Then Bangladesh will face South Africa in New York on June 10. Bangladesh's next two matches will be in the West Indies. Bangladesh will play against the Netherlands on June 13. The Tigers will face Nepal in the last match of the group stage on June 17. On the other hand, Bangladesh will play 3 warm-up matches against the United States on May 21, 23 and 25 before the start of the World Cup. To end the bulletin, headlines once again. Donald Liu visiting Bangladesh to discuss implementing his country's agenda. Bangladesh does not bother about any visa policy and sanctions, says Ubadul Qadir. BNP is hatching conspiracies against the country in association with international Israeli lobby, says Foreign Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmood. Health Ministry takes action plan to prevent dengue. Organizations concerned, including city corporations, will work jointly to implement the plan. Russian President Vladimir Putin to pay a state visit to China tomorrow, marking 75 years of diplomatic relations between the two countries. And Bangladesh announces 15-man squad for ICC T20 World Cup, naming Najmul Hassan as captain and Taskin Ahmed as vice-captain. And that's all from the newsroom for the moment.